Hey, this is Anthony Cesari, and this video will show you how to find the exact right words to use in your lyrics. If you have a couple of general words or ideas that will encompass what your song's going to be about, of course you know you can use a thesaurus to expand on the options for those exact words, but as I'm going to show you in a minute, the thesaurus you're using isn't giving you the best options to help you say what you want. There are a couple of options I like a lot better, and first we're going to talk about the best physical option, and then right after that I'll talk about my favorite digital option. The physical option is called Roget's International Thesaurus. This is not the same as the standard alphabetized A to Z thesaurus that you have, or its digital counterpart, the online thesaurus. Instead, the International Thesaurus is set up in a completely different way that's meant to present you with a flow of ideas to give you a lot more options based on the fact that it's organized by subject as opposed to simply being alphabetical like a dictionary-style A to Z thesaurus. So it takes into account that you might not know exactly what you're looking for. Here's how it works. The second half of the book is the index, which is organized alphabetically, and this is where you look up the word you want to expand your ideas for. With this layout, it can include a lot more words than a normal thesaurus can fit, since multiple words can send you to the same sections. So let's look up the word memory, since I'm working on a song about that now. So when I do that, I see several different options for the word memory. For what I'm looking for, I'm going to choose the options celebration, retrospection, recollection, and remembrance. Each of these words points me to a different option, which is referencing the numbered section in the front of the book. So let's start by looking at the options recollection and remembrance, since they're both in the same section 989.1 in the front of the book. So when I find 989.1 in the front, I see not only my options for recollection and remembrance, but other similar ideas that get a little further away from my initial idea of memory as I look further down the page to 989.2, 3, and so on. And the words that you see in bold here are the most common words. So this is really opening up my options for words related to my initial idea of memory. And at this point, I can jot down the words that I think will work for my song or my individual lines. And then I can go back to the alphabetical reference section at the second half of the book and check out the same thing for my other word options, celebration and retrospection. Then I'll have a collection of a ton of different words that can lead me in different directions for my song. And what I'm showing on screen now are the instructions right inside Roget's International Thesaurus itself, showing you how to use it if you want to pause it and read them over to get a better understanding of what I just went over with you. By the way, if this is the kind of songwriting information you're interested in and want more of, be sure to subscribe to this channel and stay updated on our latest songwriting videos, and grab your free songwriting cheat sheets with the little I in the upper right hand corner of the video or in the description below. So in a minute I'm going to talk about the limitations of the physical A to Z thesaurus or a typical online thesaurus. But first, let's take a look at the online option I like for getting the exact right words that you need for your lyrics. This is a feature in MasterWriter called word families. It doesn't just show you synonyms for your words, but it can be used to give you descriptors for the word you're looking for. It opens up new possibilities for words that normally only just have a few synonyms. Okay, so once we're in MasterWriter, all I do is come up to the search bar at the top and type in our word. And you can see right now I'm on rhyme, so what I want to do is click this word families buttons, because this is the feature that we're talking about within MasterWriter that's going to give us these extended synonyms. Now you see it's telling me to select a usage from the filters menu over here, and if you pick one you don't have to worry because it'll give you the option to also see what the other one says once you choose one. So for right now I'll just pick the word memory, and then you'll see down here on usages I can choose memory or nostalgic. Now this word families feature in MasterWriter is kind of similar to Roget's International Thesaurus, although this is going to give you different options than that does. But like Roget's International, it expands on what you would normally get from an A to Z or an online thesaurus. So at this point, we'll just go through the options that they give us on the right-hand side here. So we're going to want as many options as possible. So we're going to choose all parts of speech. For word type, you can look at primary or extended, which gets a little bit looser with the definition, or you can use all to see both of those. So we're going to hit all on that. And then, like I said, you can flip back between usages, which they were initially asking us about. So we'll check out nostalgic in a sec. But we can look at all the options for memory first. And then for syllables, you can choose how many syllables that you want, but that's not going to concern us right now, so we're just not going to click any of those, and it'll show us all the syllables. So these are all the options I have to choose from in word families for the word memory. And what's really great about MasterWriter is, unlike any other thesaurus option, whether it's physical, online, or even the Roget's International Physical Thesaurus, any of these options that you like, you just double click them, let's say a home movie is kind of cool, souvenir, retrospection, portrait. So now any of these that are grayed out and italicized, those are going to show up in my collection for the word memory. So then I can only look at those options, and it's really easy to add them to that collection and reference them when I need them without getting bogged down by all these other words that I'm not interested in. And if you want to make a collection like that with any other kind of thesaurus, you have to actually write them down, which is time consuming and annoying. So we'll look at those collected words in one sec. First, I just want to show you that we can also click on the word nostalgic and then do the same thing. It resets these parameters, so that just got to click back on all parts of speech and then click back on all word types, and then syllable stays blanked out. So then now I have 4 pages of these to look at. So I could just go through and add some of these to my collection as well. And then once I've done that, I've gone through and chosen all the words that I want. Then I click here on collected, and now you see on the right I've got searched words for the word memory. If I search for other words and add them to collections, then those words will show up here as well. But for right now, I'm just looking at memory. So now you can see I get this list of words that show up. Just the words that I chose, and if I want to get rid of them, I can delete them. But this is a great way of reviewing only options that I felt will apply to this song that I'm writing. I should also mention that Master Writer does have a regular thesaurus in it too. It's that synonyms option up here. And the advantage that this has to a regular online thesaurus is that I can also add any of these words to my collection for the word memory. So let's say I like retrospect or glimmering from the past, and I want to add those. Then I go back up to collected, and I can see that it's adding those in this synonyms section. So it's cool that you can sort of combine word families and synonyms together and put them all in one list that you want to reference for writing your song. Master Writer is not a free tool, it is a paid tool, but I do have a link for that below the video if you want to check that out, since it is really useful. I've been using it all the time when I write. So you can see how both Roget's International Thesaurus and Master Writer's Word Families feature open up the options beyond what a normal thesaurus does. And by a normal thesaurus, I'm referring to either a physical A to Z dictionary style thesaurus, which is most of the ones available for purchase, and probably the one you own if you have one. But I'm also talking about any online thesaurus you may be using, as they basically function the same way as a physical A to Z thesaurus. You can see this if we look at our example word memory entered into thesaurus.com. Okay, so here on thesaurus.com, we can come up to the top, type in our word memory, and these are the options that we get here. Visually, you can see there's fewer options than we get with Roget's International and all of its related words, or in Master Writer's word families and the extended option and its synonym section. But it does show you a couple different tabs for different usages, kind of like in Master Writer. So you can check out both of those. And you can click on any of these words to see synonyms for that specific word. So if I like the word recollection and I want to see its synonyms and I click on that, then I end up here. But what I find to be a big problem with this, well, it's twofold. One is once I start chasing down different words that I like let's say I like recall and I click on that, and then I like reminiscence, I click on that. Now I'm getting far from home pretty quick. And the only way to get back really is by using the back button. So you can get lost in the words that you're choosing, and it's easy to just go down a rabbit hole and almost forget the word that you're looking for. And then also, if you do want to add these words to a list of words that you can reference, you have to write them down. It may be different on some of the other online options, but on this one, you can't even highlight the word and just copy it so that you can copy and paste it into a Word doc or something. Because if you try and copy it, it copies the link that it's going to lead you to. So you really just have to retype it out if you're putting it into a Word doc, or write it down on a piece of paper, which can get time consuming. So I think you can see if you're currently using a physical A to Z thesaurus in dictionary format or a run-of-the-mill online thesaurus, Roget's International and Master Writer's word families are much better resources for you to find the exact right words or ideas you need for your song. And in keeping with the idea of using these tools to write your exact words, once you choose the synonyms that will work for your song, then you can search for rhymes of those words with a rhyming dictionary. Now it's going to be so much easier to build out each of your specific lyrical lines because you'll have so many of the exact words that you can use directly in your lyrics. If you're interested in learning even more about the tools I discussed here, I've got a bonus extension to this video in our member site, which you can learn more about with the link on screen or below the video. In that video, I go through a couple of example words to see all the options I end up choosing with each different Thesaurus version, so you can see how they stack up against each other. And we're also going to review the advantages and disadvantages of each tool so that you'll know exactly which is the right one for you and your songwriting style. So if you found this information helpful, subscribe to this channel and grab your free songwriting downloads with the links on the screen and below the video.